it's a beautiful sport. I give third world countries, you can't afford anything else but a little ball. And you play on, sand floors or whatever, dirt, whatever it is. Yeah, I guess it's good.
But you love basketball where they take a little ball and basically do the same thing, but they put it in a smaller hole.
Yeah, because it takes more skill. You just said it. You just said it. Thank you, Sam. You put it in a smaller hole. That's right.
Yeah, but it's
and
the
you do
same
it
thing.
over and over. There's physicality. You can hit people. You can knock people down. You can defend. You can rebound. When you get hit, you don't lie down. You don't cry for 3 days.
Cash Daddies. Cash Daddies. Cash Daddies. Cash Daddies.
Cash Daddies is for entertainment purposes only. You'd be an idiot to listen to anything these degenerates say. Invest at your own risk, do research, but seriously don't listen to these ass clowns. Now enjoy Cash Daddies.
Welcome to Cash Daddies. We're banking fatties and USA, USA, USA. Johnny wearing the colors. Joining me as always is Jay Nice, Johnny Woodard. He loves America.
Love it. Unlike some people on the show, I badly wanted us to win.
Iran was plus 1,400 after we were up 1-0. I just like their chances. I like the Iranians. I like the playmaking. I like the fact that, if we lose, we go back to the States. It's all about eating pie, munching pie, drinking booze, having a good time. Yo, these guys are going home tonight.
Yeah,
and they're gonna get stoned tomorrow.
Oh, dude, it is not good.
That goalie was like,
that's gonna happen. I don't think Iran's that bad.
Iran is a modern country. Give it a break.
You fuck.
They're gonna get stoned.
I feel bad.
They're gonna get stoned.
What the U.S. has done to Iran is disgusting, and I feel for them. So, there is that part of that. Like you're like, God damn, that sucks. But
I won't.
Sucks for them. Yeah. Bye-bye. See you.
Bye. Yeah. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no
And we can
more.
beat the Netherlands. We're going to play the Netherlands next, Holland. We can beat them. They're not.
I think we can beat them.
We're going to
dude, England's really good, right? And we played them pretty hard.
England's England's better than Holland for sure. Better than Netherlands, yeah.
I'm betting the Netherlands. I'm taking them.
Dude, now you're going to see the world what happens when quality black athletes start playing fucking soccer. Now you're going to learn.
I wouldn't say they're quality athletes.
You've never seen Twitch fiber like our Twitch fiber. Wait till you find out, dog. Wait till you find out.
I wouldn't say athletes.
Find out.
They're soccer players. They kick, they run. I don't know. I don't understand it. I just saw a guy go down and he screamed for 5 minutes. And then he got up like a zombie and just walked around like there was nothing wrong. Listen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because guys, come on, dude. Guys taking charges in basketball. You don't see guys like, just fall down.
Dude, come on.
Yeah, they get up. They get up 5 seconds later. They don't lie on the ground for 5 minutes. If you lie down on the ground for 5 minutes and you get back up and your leg is not snapped in half and the people can't see bone.
Listen, they're running non-stop. They just do that to take a breath, too. They're like, oh.
Quarterbacks in the NFL, dude. I mean, quarterbacks fall down like they exploded.
Johnny, what are you talking about? Quarterback hasn't been.
Tom Brady's like, you hit my pussy. I'm hurting.
A quarterback hasn't
been hit. Got stumped.
A quarterback hasn't been hit in the NFL in like 5 years. They haven't gotten touched. They got rid of those rules. Pussification.
Well, I'm happy that we moved on. It was I feel, dude, that like U.S. soccer would have taken such a giant hit if they did advance this time, at least advance.
Especially after not qualifying last time.
Yeah, so this was big. I do think soccer has a huge, or football has a huge future in the United States. I think you're going to see a lot of people get into that, and mostly the guys. Of that
is due to the head stuff with football, Sam? Do you think?
I think football. Everybody keeps telling me football's take is declining, and all I see is ratings going up. And when there's ratings, there's money and snatch. Whenever there's money and snatch, poor people will play it. So
fair point. That's a good point.
That's all I gotta say about that. what you're going to find are the people who maybe don't like getting hit as much and can't shoot a basketball will go into soccer. And then you'll have like Allen Iversons and
No, that's
Lamar
never going to
Odom,
happen. That would have happened 40 years ago. It's never going to happen. You want to know why? Because nobody wants to see a game for 2 hours and the score is 0-0.
Yeah,
It's-
but dude, how
some of
long
the
has
best games
MLS
I've ever
been
seen.
around? What is the MLS? How old is that? Like 20
MLS
years?
been around since the late 90s. Yeah.
So
Or
yeah,
the-
like dude,
maybe
it's
mid-90s,
selling
actually.
more tickets than any
Who
collective.
says? Who the
96. No, dude, they do better numbers in the stadiums than NBA does.
No, they don't.
Yes,
Yeah, they
they,
do.
do. Dude. Yes,
No,
they,
they
do.
don't.
Yes, they
No
do.
way.
Yes.
No way.
Yes. Yes.
No, they don't, man. You show a game in like Oregon or wherever. There's
They're
like
all sold
people
out,
there.
bro. These teams all sell out. man.
MLS
man,
is
there's
the
a team-
third.
there's a team
MLS
that
is the
plays-
third most attended sports league in the United States.
What's number one?
Bullshit.
And it now averages higher attendances than NHL and NBA, respectively.
I don't believe it.
Respectfully, Howie.
I don't
Respectfully.
believe it.
Okay, I mean you don't have to believe
You on your
anything for it to be
Android
true.
right now? What are you going to your Coleco right now trying to look this stuff up?
I mean, MLS. I'm looking. Average attendance, Seattle. Well, yeah, I mean they're bigger stadiums, so you can't compare them to the NBA.
He just saw that. He just saw the Seattle average
Anyways,
like
keep
50,000
moving on.
people.
Let's move on.
He just looked up
Let's move on.
Seattle
as
and
big
he
as
was like, "Oh my
baseball.
God, they average like
It's not as
50,000."
big as baseball in
Listen,
July.
he
and they only
doesn't know
play, what?
sports, but this guy knows finances. And if you want to
play
learn how to
20
invest
games.
in these crazy times, go to patreon.com/Cash Daddies. Now, if you're looking for an exchange to invest on, where should they go, Howie?
If they want to go to Trade Aries, man. Trade Aries, man. You could trade anything. You could trade your kids on there if they're being real.
Hey, let's
pains
not
in
go
the
into
ass.
that. We, as a show, we are against selling of
Yeah,
children.
big time.
You can sell your own kids. Get the
No,
fuck
I would
out of
never
here.
sell my own kids.
No
you
way.
fucking fuck.
Well,
Come
they
on.
aren't old enough yet. Trust
No,
me.
but
You wait
yeah,
5
no.
or 6 years.
We do not condone that talk. We do not find it funny. We disavow.
Johnny,
I
write
don't
this
think
time
it's
down.
funny.
Johnny, write this
I
time
think
down.
you
We're
get
gonna
Johnny,
have to
write
cut
this
this out.
time down, please. Johnny, write this time down. Howie, tell us about this exchange that we'd love for our listeners to sign up for.
Yeah, go to Trade Aries, tradearies.com. You can buy options, you can buy bonds, stocks, set up an IRA. You can do anything you want on there. You can sell commodities.
And what is it? What do they do? What is our promo code?
It's what is it, Johnny? Trade Aries / Cash Daddies?
I believe it is. Yes, sir. I'm gonna
Yeah.
confirm
Let's
that
get
in just a moment.
confirmation on that.
Let me see. I got it's in
Put it
every
up on
it's in every episode's description, but let me just go back to one
Just
right
go in
here.
the description below.
And I
Get
can
all the
confirm it
links
is
to all of our
it is
sponsors.
tradearies.com/cash daddies. Tradearies.com/cash daddies.
Trade. How do you spell Aries?
It is tradearies.com/cash daddies.
ARIES.com.
Get that $100 bonus.
So how was your
$100 bonus.
Besides getting your ass handed to you on an Iran bet, you treasonous fuck. Besides that,
I bet $10. Would have been 10 to win 140. I don't know shit about soccer, man. I've watched it maybe 3 times in my life.
We figured that.
the thing that's so funny about soccer is like it makes me laugh. Everyone's like, baseball's too slow. Nothing happens. And then like everyone's perfectly fine with a 0-0 game in soccer. Dude, we got a point.
Yeah, 1 point. One guy bounces off some guy's nuts and goes in a net.
You
and
can't
people
say
go
though that the
crazy.
last like 30 minutes of that game weren't electric though. Watching and hoping they don't score.
Electric in the way I wanted to put my finger in a fucking socket. That kind of
Dude, that
yeah, I
was
almost fell
exciting,
asleep, Johnny.
Howie. Please stop.
I
Please.
almost fell asleep.
That might be something you should look into, like hormone
Yeah.
imbalance or something.
Yeah, it
No,
sounds
man.
like it sounds
No.
like
You got low T, Howie? You got low T, brother.
no,
Howie,
low
you got
T.
low T.
I don't know anyone that's watched soccer is just like, wow, look at that.
You accept
can't-
like 90% of the world that watches
Yeah.
soccer.
Oh yeah,
Everybody
90%.
loves soccer.
It's always been it's a beautiful sport. I give third world countries, you can't afford anything else but a little ball, and you play on sand floors or whatever, dirt, whatever it is. Yeah, I guess it's good.
But you love basketball where they take a little ball and basically do the same thing, but they put it in a smaller hole.
Yeah, because it takes more skill. You just said
What?
it. You just said it. Thank you, Sam. You put it in a smaller hole. That's right.
Yeah, but it's
And
the
you do
same
it
thing.
over There's physicality. You can hit people. You can knock people down. You can defend or rebound. When you get hit, you don't lie down. You don't cry for 3 days.
There's
You don't fucking cry
physicality.
for
What are you
3
talking about?
days.
There's physical. These guys are running nonstop. You just saw a guy. He looked like his sternum was crushed. It had to go off. He came out
Jesus
and played 15
Christ.
minutes with a crushed sternum.
Yeah, it crushed sternum. Yeah, because another guy blew on him. Get the fuck out of it. That was the worst. Man, the guy from Iran fell down screaming. I'm like, wow, he must have really fucked himself up. I didn't see it. I didn't see anything happen.
I get this,
Nope.
Howie. This is the first time you've watched soccer. Is that
It
it?
It
Oh, okay. So you're still affected by the theater of stupid. That
It is like the 90s jokes that comedians used to tell about soccer. You know, like, oh, these guys are just falling down all the time. I don't get it.
What?
I don't either.
Falling down.
It's not a joke. I watched it happen. Guy from Iran fell down. No one hurt him. He lay there. He was screaming.
Yeah,
What
the
is
guy's
off-
trying to
what
get
is
red
offsides
cards,
mean?
bro.
He's screaming. He's going crazy. All of a sudden, he
They
gets
want
up.
the ball.
He gets up, lowers his shoulder, and walks off. I'm okay, guys. I'm okay. Look, man, you scream in any situation. If you get hit, you scream and you bounce back in 3 minutes, you should deserve 30 seconds of a beating by 3 people. You just get absolutely like let into the gang with a fucking beating because hey, you screamed. You screamed. It sounds like it hurt. Now you just 30-second beating is what they should.
By the
put
way,
that-
Howie's saying this. Howie's the guy that just said Iran's going to go and get stoned to death because they're barbarians, and then you're like, you should beat up guys who do gay theater on soccer fields.
Yes. Yes.
Logical holes here, Howie. Got some logical
think
holes in
that's-
your
I
argument.
think
Dude,
that-
if anyone's got a logical hole, it is Howie. Hey, Howie, how's your week besides the Iran bet?
It was a good week, man. It was an awesome week. We had Thanksgiving. The readers are all in a contest right now where everybody picked a stock. It started at 9:30 on Monday, December 31st. Whoever stock has the most appreciation, they get fired off a t-shirt, man. That's what it is. It is what it is. We got guys in there battling. We got fucking name calling. It's good. It's a good contest. It's good. I love it. I love it. The readers are on board. We had a good week too. We made a couple moves. Friday, while everybody was sleeping, everybody was like sleeping. Howie was actively looking at the VIX at an all-time low, down the 20s. And what did we do? What did we buy? We bought the SDOW. That means we hope that the market goes down. We want things to get really bad. We want things to tank because when it does, we bang fatties. And we're up about 5% in it already. So fucking we're cranking over here in the Patreon, baby.
Damn, Howie, you're fire, bro. You're fucking fire. I love it.
Cranking.
So, Johnny, how's your week? Did you get anything?
Not really. No, I was traveling this week. I was mostly chilling out on the farm. I got into some killer brisket. Did a long smoke on an offset smoker overnight. Spent all night tending the fire. Came out with a beautiful meteorite looking brisket, and it was delicious. Had it the next day. Fantastic.
Were you watching soccer while you did all this?
No. Actually, I was talking to my girlfriend on FaceTime. She showed me her titties.
Damn.
That's good when you can get
Technology.
to do that.
That's how you do it.
Technology.
Either her or her mother, who's ever there. It's a good thing. It's
Her
a good
mother's got great tits too. By the way.
Easy,
sauce.
easy.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
How dare
Sorry.
you?
Sorry, I was a little too excited about America right there. And I got a little too excited.
America, moms, and tits. It's
What do you
it's
guys
all
think about Apple threatening, according to Elon, to withhold Twitter from the App Store?
Let's talk about this because this is huge. You talk about wars all over the country, Russia, Ukraine, China, what's going on in North Korea, the biggest war about to start, and they're lining up on both sides. It's Elon versus Apple, and they're about to go to war, man. And Elon's got balls because I think he could seriously fuck himself quickly. That's what it looks like. You don't mess with Apple. Apple's like if North Korea was going to go to war with the United States. That's kind of what Apple's like versus Tesla versus.
Well, they could just flip a switch and most of his business is gone.
And they've
Gone.
a lot of it already. People don't realize. Johnny's got a point. If Apple decided to just toss them as an app, bye, they're fucking fucked. What do they do?
It's over.
Yeah.
They've already lost the advertising from most of Apple. They've lost a bunch of other advertisers, which leads me to believe, how are they going to make money? So, I think Eli's playing with fire here.
Sorry.
What are we doing there? That sounds like another podcast.
Yeah.
No, Howie, totally, man. I hope he's staying on the right side of the line. I gotta assume he knows what he's doing, because he knows how he knows how devastating that would be to Twitter's business for them to get pulled out of the App Store. But it is, to me, this is also disappointing I'm disappointed with Apple that they would, because I don't, they won't, according to him, they have
Johnny loves Apple. Johnny loves Apple.
But it's all to this, Johnny. It's all, according to Apple, it's all about content moderation. And they're basically like, Elon, are you doing a good job in moderating all your content? Because, since you've let all of the freedom in, Apple is saying, this many racist tweets have gone out, this much has happened. So it's a he says, she says kind of thing. And now you got Elon came out and basically said everybody gets their old account restored, I guess, as long as they don't have a felony or some fucking crazy shit. So, you got guys like Sam's going to have 55 Twitter accounts now.
Yeah.
Sam's going to be tweeting, Asian people like just walking down the street, fucking doing a death spiral, dying. And it's going to be awesome. And I'm down for that. I mean, I have no problem. I seriously, my philosophy on this freedom of speech is, if you are dumb enough not to figure out maybe what's real, what could be real, what isn't real, hey man, I mean, you're gonna fuck other things up in life too. So I do like the fact that Elon is letting it go. But on the other hand, like Johnny said, you got Apple, and you got the big guns over there. And I think, what was it, the CFO or somebody today took their Twitter account off?
Oh, that was Phil Schiller. Yeah. He's a big shit at Apple.
What does that represent?
Don't know.
I didn't realize how big it was. And I'm like, so what? The guy took his Twitter off. But they're saying that's huge because he's actually a big guy over at
Phil
Apple.
Schiller, yeah. I mean, he was right under Steve Jobs in their organization, the structure there for forever. And now he's right under Tim Cook.
Basically, they're saying by him doing that, that's kind of a first start of a battle.
That's a sign of trouble.
Yes. Yeah. It's kind of the first thing to say to Elon. Yeah, you fucked up. You shouldn't have done that. Now I'm pulling mine. Let's see who else does. And I mean, this thing is definitely bigger than I thought it would be. And the other thing too is, Elon's bitching because Johnny will tell you, for every app that you have on there, Apple's like the mafia. They really are. They really are. Johnny, they charge what, that 15, 30% fee?
30%, yeah, shadow fee, yeah.
Every single month, Sam, you got an app, Apple says, thank you, we like it, fuck you, pay me. You had a bad week? Fuck you, pay me. Company's going bankrupt? Fuck you, pay me.
I love that movie.
I mean, yeah, they have to pay Apple this 15 to 30% fee, and Elon's bitching about it. Now, does he have a point? Probably. He probably does. Does it matter? No, because they're the fucking mafia. Apple can do whatever they want to. So this whole thing is getting real interesting, man. It's I don't know what's going to happen. Elon's definitely fighting. He's kind of instigated this thing. But like some of these experts say, if Apple wants to, like Johnny said, they could end it. Apple could end it. They could end him.
I mean, and that sets a very dangerous precedence for Apple. And that puts Apple under a giant microscope, in my humble opinion. And I think it's like I think they're really setting themselves up for a giant backlash. And they could do it. And by the way, if this was another podcast, there's a part of me that thinks this is a lesson being pushed on everyone going, even the richest guy in the world better play ball or else we'll get rid of him.
Now, can I say one thing? They did this with Uber before. When Uber was spying on people through their app. And they came and said, hey, we're going to take it out of the App Store. They went and had a meeting and they had already started the process. And they still didn't do it. And they were literally spying on people in the Uber app.
Hold on. So is it Alex Jones they have a problem with? Like, who are these people?
Well, I'll give you some examples because Elon tweeted out, "Hey, has anybody else had problems like this?" And a bunch of people responded. And one guy, he had like a video app that was meant to compete with YouTube, and some of the examples of things that Apple said that they had to fix was like some of the thumbnails that people were uploading had like Pepe the Frog in it. Like it was that level of shit. Like just the thumbnail had Pepe, which some people find offensive, was the quote from the Apple guy in the App Store responding. So, I mean, that's what we're talking about here, dude. It's the walled garden approach that Apple has.
I mean, they have pull. That company has a ton of power. And so, while we're on the subject, let's talk about what the hell's going on in China, because that has to do with Apple. So you
100%.
saw the riots over at the, and it finally got to a point, and this thing is so complicated. It got to a point where, the Chinese people were like, fuck you. You can't just come up and take my phone. And that's what the police were doing. Give me your phone. Are you on Instagram? Are you on Facebook? Are you on? And if you are, who knows where they take you? They take you somewhere you don't find you again.
Yeah, I agree.
So people were going ape shit in the streets because they did shut down the Apple factory. And that has to do with the economy. It has to do with these people making money. They went ballistic.
Making no money on top of that, though.
Yeah. And I mean, those people were going ballistic over there. But the whole time this is going on, I'm looking at one thing. I hear all the negative news yesterday on China. They're shutting down. They're blocking down. And all of a sudden, I look at where I suggested buying a month ago, KWEB, KWEB, which is basically the Chinese economy. It's all those companies like Alibaba, Lupton Coffee, all those companies. And I see, Sam, the fucking ETF, the stock KWEB, it's up 7%. So I'm thinking, okay, China's shutting down. The world's coming to an end. Why the fuck is this up? You want to know why it's up? Because the stock market knows. The stock market always knows. They're never wrong. They knew that the next day they would come out and say, you know what? We're going to lax restrictions. We're going to try to move ahead without this. We're going to try to do it. And that's what happened today, man. If you bought that KWEB 1 month ago at $18 a share, it's at $26.60 today. So what that tells you is you don't always trust the media and everything that's going on over there. It's not as bad as it looks. Otherwise, that fucking market wouldn't be going up. It'd be going down.
You know what, dude? You just bring up a really great point. This is something I talked about with Brian Callen about all this stuff we're seeing. Like within the conspiracy community, there's both liberal and, well, I should say more the truth community, right? The truth community. There's liberal to progressive, and then there's conservative to religious extremists, right? Which is fine, the whole spectrum. If you go to the progressive side or the liberal socialist side, a lot of them will tell you that a lot of stuff coming out in the United States about China is military industrial complex propaganda. And that they're trying to demonize the Chinese government and get the United States people against the Chinese government to basically facilitate a world war if necessary at some point, a trade war or something like that. But I know that's something you're not into. That's very, very advanced stuff that people like.
Well, that's what you're saying has been going on for 30 years. I mean, that's 30 years.
The point is, a lot of people agree with what you're saying, that it's not what, and I have, the guy who does my website, great guy. He talks about how when he was in China, when he started developing my stuff, he's like, dude, it's not what you guys think. And then I've had fans on Twitter go, dude, I live in blah, 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 blah. It's not what you think. And I go, oh, okay. Interesting, dude. Interesting.
Well, here's what, it comes down to me, common sense. I'm looking in November, Alibaba, JD.com, Tencent. These things are all up 30% in the last month. And you look at China, and they have 20 cities larger than New York and LA combined. I mean, look how big that fucking country is. So when I look and I see a riot and there's 2,000-3,000 people going fucking crazy, I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't really think it's as bad as what the media is saying. And then I look at the stock market, and their market has had the best month. November was the best month in probably a year. And I'm saying to myself, fuck this. I need to be buying some of that shit. K-Web, it's the best month they've had all year long. So you're going to tell me things are that bad over there? I don't think so.
Super interesting, bro.
Yeah, I don't
Hey,
think so.
Howie, can I ask you a question real quick before we go to the guest who should be joining us any minute here? I saw a story today that says that the new I bonds, 6.89%, will beat the old I bonds, which were 9.62% in just 4 years. Can you explain what that means? I don't quite understand that.
You know what? That's funny you say that. I glanced over that today. And what I think that means is that is the 6.8% or whatever right now, they're basically factoring in the interest rates are going to drop, Johnny. If we're looking out 4 years, they're saying that, okay, rates are going to go up another basis point this month. But then over the next few quarters, they're going to start to drop again. So they're saying that 6 point whatever percent, it's going to be solid because, hey, in a year from now, those I bonds might be paying 3.5 or 4.
Interesting. Okay. What do you think about I bonds? You still like those?
Love them, man. I mean, you gotta like
Love him
something.
so much. Why don't you marry him? Boom. Come on,
Hey.
dude. I'm killing it.
When you it was fucking amazing bounce back joke right there.
Thank you, dude.
Unreal.
Bounce back joke.
Thank you, bro.
I haven't heard that one since the bicentennial.
Wish the American soccer team had finishers like that, because damn, we could use some more goals today.
I am winning.
So I love I bonds because, and I just answered a question. Somebody said, "Hey, do you think they're a good return?" Say, look, anything where the government only allows you to toss in 10 grand, there's a reason, because it's a good deal.
It's like the IRAs, right?
Yeah. I don't care who you are, what tax, you can't put more than 10 grand in. So yeah, it's a hell of a deal. If you got 10 grand, you want to put for 6 months, you want to get over 6%, and it's fully, it's not going to move. It's fully insured. There's no risk. You're getting that money back. So yeah, I love it.
See, I was between I bonds and Hex. I just couldn't quite decide which way to go. So I think I'm leaning toward I bonds now, Howie, because of what you just said. How's Hex doing, by the way? Didn't it just it's like in the
dude? Hex. Here's why
in
Hex
the shitter.
cracks me up, and it's getting funnier every day because Dickie Hart comes out every day and he's like, "You guys owe me an apology. I was right. I told you Bitcoin was going to 15." So he always says this. He says, "I told you Bitcoin was going to 15,000." So Bitcoin's down like, I don't know, 70% for the year. Hex is down like near 90.
But his argument is that, but it was up 10,000%. Yeah, but it was up 10,000% from nothing. You know what I mean?
When I started my Ponzi scheme, it went up 37,000%. So what if it's down 90 in a year? And it just cracks me up, the level of idiocy, but I think it's getting less. If you look, there's less and less people. There's a couple bimbos on there that are like, you need to listen to Dickie. Dickie knows best. I swear, it's fucking comedy. It's comedy.
By the way, we would love bimbos to listen to this show if it's at all possible.
Yeah, we'd like to get some
guest is here, by the way.
Yeah, we got smart chicks that listen to this show.
We do got if they are bimbos, we still love them.
Yeah.
Can we bring him in?
Yeah, bring him in. All right, guys, we're gonna jump to our guest and enjoy this interview. All right, guys, I want to tell you about our friends over there at Copy My Crypto and our good friend James McMahon, everybody. That's right. Guys, we've seen so many people make ridiculous money from crypto, but did you know it's easy for you to do the same? The Copy My Crypto membership site shows you the coins that YouTuber James McMahon personally holds and allows you to copy them. It's like having a big brother who knows what he's doing. You don't need to know a thing about crypto or how to invest, as you simply do as he does. So let me tell you more about James. He runs Crypto with James YouTube channel, which despite heavy censorship has over 26,000 subscribers. Since March 2020, he's told his viewers to buy 26 crypto coins. Had you put $100 into each, it went on to be worth $123,000. Of the 26 coins, his top pick of the year, called Phantom went up 692 times from when he said. That's one call. That one call alone has retired a number of people, including guys in their 20s and 30s. Remember, this is public knowledge. You can go to YouTube and verify this yourself. If you'd like to join the 2,800 members who copy James, then stop what you're doing and head over to copymycrypto.com/Sam. That's copymycrypto.com/Sam. That's SAM. You'll find the proof of everything we've said, but my listeners get full access for just $1. Once again, that's copymycrypto.com/Sam. The recession is here, guys. You can suffer like everyone else or choose to thrive. James is the real deal. Go visit the site now. Very excited to have this next guest on. I'm an affiliate program with him and his Wise Wolf, gold and silver. I'm very excited to have him on. We'll talk some precious metals. Please welcome Tony Arterburn. How are you, buddy?
Doing great, Sam. Great to be back.
I feel like legally I have to say I'm working with you, right? Isn't that like what I have to do legally? I have to put it out there, let the kids know.
Yeah, it's a disclaimer.
Disclaimers. How are you, buddy? How are your books behind you? Have you read all those books?
No, I have not read all my books. No, but a great deal of them I have. A lot of them I had in places like Afghanistan and Iraq, and they've traveled through time to be here on the show today.
Respect, brother. Respect. Any thoughts on the U.S. team winning in the World Cup?
Oh, did they win? Okay, I didn't.
Yeah, they won, dude. They got
won.
All right.
They won. Treasonous Howie over there put money down on Iran.
I only bet Iran when we were up 1-0 because the odds were plus 1,400. And listen, man, we're not a soccer country. We got our
evidently neither are they.
Yeah.
Oh, burn, dude. Why don't you marry it? So we're living in crazy times, Tony. I don't know if it's getting better, it's getting worse, it's stagnant. I don't know. You know, I'm trying to pull myself out of the loose jacking haunted house. What are your thoughts on the world we live in financially?
Well, we're on the precipice of massive change, I believe, Sam. I'm looking at the emerging power of the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, now adding Saudi Arabia, which you would think that would have been a massive story in the mainstream media that Saudi Arabia is joining the BRICS nations, but no one really talked about it. And that's, of course, the petrodollar. This is all a currency reevaluation, in my opinion. And that's all these forces in different nation states are vying for who's going to control the new world order, in my opinion.
Oh, my God. You know, it's like, so, you know, like even when you go back to this kind of this soccer game today, right? And it's just like, you know, there's so much political stuff going on between the two countries, and you know the players are just people and they want to play a game. And you know what the United States has done to the rest of the world is really disgusting. How he likes to profit off it, but the rest of us have a real problem with it. You know, but it just sucks that there's going to be a blowback to what the globalists, the international monetary banks have done to the world, and the U.S. is going to take probably a big blunt to that. What do you think?
Yeah, the United States and the West in general is about 5% of the world's population. I'm referring only to the U.S., but our dominance, the hegemonic dominance of the dollar, has been there since the end of World War II, since Bretton Woods in 1944. But if you look at the timeline, Sam, you go to 1971 and Richard Nixon takes us off the gold standard. Gold was $35 an ounce. A lot of people assume that prices have gone up, that assets have gone up. And really what's happened is you're looking at a devaluation over a long period of time. And so the future is unfortunately not with the U.S. unless we have massive political change and we go back to first principles. And I don't see that happening right now. I think we cover in alternative media just the absolute clown show that is and dystopia that is our political system. No one seems to be coming to our aid as far as anybody who has any control to reset the U.S. on a good footing. So No, I'm not optimistic there. I see our markets as a reflection of fake. If you go to the creation of fiat currency, which means by decree, all other things that stem from it, whether you're fake politicians, fake wars, everything is fake news. And so I think we're reaching what I would call a reckoning day, and this is going to be, I think, very tumultuous. There's going to be a lot of turbulence. People need to understand that normalcy bias is going to get you in trouble.
Let me ask you this. Because I think the last time we had you on the show, we talked about, fiat currency. We talked about gold and silver. I think from the last time we had you, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think gold's down, silver's down more, but gold's down maybe 7-8% from the last time we had you on the show. And with that being said, this month is the best month gold has had probably in years. I mean, I think gold's up about 10% this month because it was so low. Now you take a look at gold and silver were trading higher than they are now in 2011, 2012. Where do you see gold, silver, or let's talk about silver. Silver sucked. Let's talk about gold. Where do you see gold going from here?
Well, first of all, it's good to see you again, Howie. And you've been killing it, by the way. I watched the show, and I know your predictions. You've done a great job at that, and I follow you. So it's good to see you again, my friend. Yeah, gold is down since the last time we talked because being in the business that I'm in precious metals, I can see firsthand that gold and silver aren't subject to regular economics anymore. If the demand is crazy, I'll just give you an example. In the beginning of 2021, and I think I talked about this last time I was on the show, but it just is so it sticks in my mind because it was the day that the Reddit raiders and the Wall Street bets people wanted to get people to buy physical silver to drive the price up. So they got everybody on these message boards, and it was cleaned out all these dealers, and nobody could find any silver. And the next day, the price went down.
I know.
Right, nobody could find it. That's because the bullion houses and the central banks, I believe, coordinate. There's no way to really prove this, but they sold off 1.5 the annual supply of silver in one day, which again was paper contracts. So silver and gold aren't really subject to. I can tell you right now, I'm putting trades in all day long, and I'm having a hard time getting supply on physical metals. But I'll look in the spot price. I'll go to goldprice.org or something, and I'll see that it's a whole sea of red and everything's going down. And that's at the times when I can find the least amount of metal is when the price goes down.
That's crazy, dude.
That's not how economics works. And
it's not supposed to work that way. It should be the opposite.
Right. It should be the opposite, but there's such a manipulation and there's so many layers to it. I don't want to try to explain that, but again, it behooves the powers that be in the West to keep gold low. Another thing that happened since we spoke last was the escalation with the war in Ukraine and the sanctions that were placed on Russia. And we talked, I think, briefly about how I thought it was going to profit Vladimir Putin, and it ended up doing that. Of course, we had the whole phrase, it's Putin's price hike. It's Putin's price hike. No, I mean, it's Biden's price hike on the American people. That all those sanctions blew back on us. And so I'm looking at the future for any kind of real price moves in gold. You see all these firms like, I think it was like Citigroup back in 2020, Howie, they were talking about $3,000 gold easy because that's what the projections were. They knew that they had to print about $6 trillion to float COVID. And to the beginning of 2020, they were printing a massive amount of U.S. dollars. So that was just the projection. So again, what was it? August 2020, gold hit 2050 some odd, and then I think when I was on with you, it I think eclipsed that. We're really close to it. So it shouldn't be. Right now, I'm looking at gold on my screen, 1,749 Luciferian bankster notes make a troy ounce of gold. So I don't understand why it is what it is, but countries are massively purchasing, and central banks, Howie. Look, the Chinese, there was an article up on Zero Hedge about a week ago, and somebody was trying to figure out who's this mystery buyer that bought 300 tons of gold, and they were just sourcing, trying to figure out who it was. It was the Chinese. And they, again, just buying it anonymously. They've broken all the records in the last 24 months of gold being ordered by central banks around the globe. So again, I don't know where the price is going. I want to be bullish because I believe, like, if I have extra cash, I'm going to put it into gold or silver. I just know it. I know that I can.
Which one do you prefer, gold or silver?
Depends on the amount. Gold is a great store of wealth. If you have a couple $100,000, you don't want to go try to. You need to be mobile. You don't want to put that in silver. That's
I fucking hate silver. I just I've been following it for 30 years.
Where did it touch you?
It makes no sense. Like when you think it's going up, it goes down. You think it's going down. It just, there's no rhyme or reason to how this shit trades. You can never tell who's buying it, where the hell it's stored. I mean, at least with gold, you know, and I always tell everybody, have 5-8% of gold in your portfolio, because you know, we get a crash, we get a 20% correction. Gold's not going anywhere. If anything, it might go up. And if you look at gold right now, I mean, I'm looking at the 10-year chart, and it's a weird chart. But I will tell you this: it really looks like back in March 30th of 2020, it looks like it kind of found a base, and within the past 30 days. It's moved up, and I think it's probably got another 10-15% rise here over the next 6 months to a year. That's just what it looks like.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong at all. I think there's a lot of room for it to get back into the 2000 range.
Yeah,
it wouldn't take much to get there. And again, that would, I think, would depend on a lot of what happens geopolitically. I think there's a lot of unknowns right now, and gold is going to respond to how the markets respond to the unknowns. And so, again, I agree with you. I think I'm bullish on gold in long and short term. As far as like getting 10-15% rises, I wouldn't disagree with that.
Don't you think? I mean, I think these interest rate hikes certainly help it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they help it, and you should the back office and looking at the supply and looking at the type of transactions that I'm doing now really tells me everything. I think the first 3 years of my business, I didn't do one IRA rollover, and now I'm doing 10 a week. And so it's just a lot of people taking 401ks, IRAs, and saying, look, I'm going to put this into physical metals. And again, that hurts you. It's funny because if you buy physical metals for your IRA, the IRA company is going to look at your assets and base it on spot price. But unfortunately, you have to buy it at premium. So it looks like you lost a bunch, but you really didn't when you're looking at your portfolio. I'm just seeing that happen more and more. And I know that there's going to be even greater shifts out of the paper markets into the metals markets. And that's why I'm here.
What about, you know, you just talked about IRAs, and you can put physical anything, metals in your IRA. But, you know, I have people, myself included, who, you know, in my IRA, I have GLD. It's a gold ETF, but it's based off of it pretty much trades identical to what gold is doing. And I know a lot of the big money managers, that's what they also use. They put whether it's AU, GLD, SLV, they'll use these to put their clients into those metals versus the actual concrete metal. I mean, what do you think of that? I mean, you're probably, as far as ETFs versus the actual physical gold.
Well, the problem with ETFs, in my opinion, is verification. You know, the London Bullion Exchange is the one who's dominated this for over 200 years. And so looking at what actual supply versus price, I don't know. I know that if you cash out GLD, they send you fiat currency. They don't send you a gold coin. Same thing, the Shanghai Gold Exchange. I mean, you look at the lockdowns in China and how that government is run. I mean, did they really have the gold? I don't know. Yeah. I like physical. There's absolutely nothing. I mean, the strategies that you're picking, Howie, and what you're doing, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not my game. It's not what I do.
You're buying the actual physical.
I have to. That's just really what that's the business that I'm in, and that's what I believe in. And so sure. There's nothing wrong with GLD on the face of it, but just be prepared. In my opinion, I think that the game being played right now is good. You look at Russia. They about 6 months ago, and maybe a little bit more than that, they said that we don't accept U.S. dollars anymore. They're candy wrappers to us. And I thought, wow, they don't accept U.S. dollars. And they're this massive amount of oil exports, and that's the petrodollar. there's something about to shift, and it may not be tomorrow or the next 6 months, but other countries are preparing for it. So you be prepared also for, again, a price change and a reflection on what gold's value actually is.
Yeah, I mean, you make a point, but of course, Russia's not accepting most shit now because I mean, you could go to Russia with the American dollar and pretty much, buy out a whole entire town. It's just nothing's worth shit over there right now. And I'm glad, luckily, we've seen the dollar weakening a little bit over the past, thank God, because it got to the point where, you don't want a dollar that strong because then it fucks up the exports and everything. And it got to a point where I think it was making the street a little nervous. I'm not going to give reasons for why I think the dollar's dropped quickly, but I think overall it is good for the economy and the stock market right now. You don't want a dollar that strong.
That's true. A lot of the dollar's psychological, and I say this on my show all the time. I talk about how 80% of all the $100 bills in paper that were ever made are outside of the continental United States. It's the world's reserve currency for now. That's what keeps the Ponzi scheme going with fiat currency. With this, I mean, there's no fiscal responsibility whatsoever. You know this, Howie. I was looking at the timeline. In 1963, when the deep state murdered JFK, the debt of the U.S. was only $312 billion. And I had to read that a few times, but by the end of the 60s, it was 400. By the end of the 70s, it was 900. And again, we're close to 30 trillion in debt, if not.
I don't even understand that number.
Not a zillion right now. You got to like it up near Gramercy Park in New York City. That's where they have the digital, the 15 numbers, and they just keep clicking and clicking and clicking every day.
It's an unsustainable path.
Yeah, but it's, I want to say something like 90% of the world uses the greenback. I mean, I don't care where you are. That's where it is. It's I don't know.
What's the end game for the national debt, though? Is it because there's a whole segment. Most of the government thinks that it's a meaningless number at this point.
It is.
You think it is too, huh? You think the national debt's a meaningless number? The deficit and the national debt. So you think there's no advantage to starting to pay that down?
I mean, you got to remember something. It's not just us. It's very complicated. It's not just the United States owing China or whatever. It's how many fucking countries? We're never seeing that money. How many countries? Hundreds that we've just.
What do you think? I'm curious what you think about that, Sam. Do you think the national debt is a meaningless number?
Well, it means something because it devalues our dollar, right? I mean, the more debt we're in, the more money they issue, the more money is out there, the less value your dollar has. It's just the way it is. So in that fact, yeah, it does. Now, within their ecosystem, they're just writing money. So, I mean, to them, it doesn't mean shit. But to us, it's like I've said on the show and my other shows, it's like people think 80 grand in their bank account means 80 grand. The number does, but the value, no. It's not the value of 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and 20 years ago. It's a much different value. See, the problem is they look at their fiat money, they see a set number, and all the shit in the world can happen everything in the world could go crazy. They look at the bank account, it still says 80 grand, right? But when they go, let's say, cryptocurrency or even gold, right? We look at gold and you look at the value and it goes down. You're like, oh my God, I'm losing all this money. No, dude, you're losing money in your bank account as well. It's just, that's the trick. It's a trick. And that's why it means something. But within their ecosystem, it means nothing because they're just going to keep printing money. But it's just crazy because everyone thinks this is about money and power, everything they're doing. They can print their own money. They don't need our money. They can print whatever they want. They can just grab this piece of paper and go, here's $1 billion. And you're like, I got $1 billion. It doesn't mean anything. It just doesn't change. The value of a house has gone up only because the value of your dollar has gone down. That's why.
Right.
The value of the dollar hasn't, not compared to they're all relative, man. The value of a house and the value of a dollar, that's the same thing. Exact same thing. Like I want to go buy a house, I got to put a percentage down to buy that house. Obviously, with interest rates going up, now I got to put twice as much up.
That's what we're saying.
But I think the value of a house, whether it's
The value of a dollar is not what it was before, Howard.
No.
When you go
That-
by supply, bro.
that's inflation. That's inflation. It's inflation.
Right? If you could only get one chick, right, in your life, that one chick is the greatest chick in the world. You will do everything. If you got a billion chicks, what do you give a shit at that point? Right? I mean, it's just the way it is, man. I mean, it's
Well, I wouldn't want a billion, but 5 or 6 that were all 10s. At that,
right? But
that
even 5 or 6 tens don't have the value of 110.
no, that would be 50. They got way more value.
I think the
What's that
key.
eye you're doing, by the way? What is that weird eye?
What the hell are you talking about? Listen, here, Tony, here's a question. We're talking about gold and silver. Give us a rundown of copper right now, because a few years ago, copper had huge valuation because none of the air conditioners in New York City were working because all the copper was getting stolen out of them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, meth heads love to steal copper for a reason, right?
Yeah.
You can go sell it. I actually carry a little bit of copper here in the shop. I bought some bars about a year or so ago and just stack them up. I give them away, put them in the. I've got a membership program now called Wolfpack, and so a lot of people just do a membership, a monthly membership for gold and silver, and I'll throw some copper in there. I haven't checked the price in a while. How is copper doing? I don't get a lot of orders for it, but it is on the exchange. You can get physical copper just like you can get gold and silver.
I was looking at it. I think it's done pretty much what silver has done.
We had a bunch of meth heads come and steal all the copper out of some chicken houses and on the farm one time. We just woke up one morning and they just stripped all the copper out of the walls.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it's same thing. It's had a hell of a month, man. It's up about 10% in the last month, just like silver. Yeah.
So let me ask you something. I want to know about your new program you were just talking about. What is this? Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I've been wanting to talk to you about it for a while. It's an idea I had about a year ago, and I thought, well, what if I could put together a membership program? We cap it at like $500 a month. It starts at $50. I call it Wolfpack. It's wolfpack.gold. You can start the Lone Wolf program. It's $50 a month. You can use a credit card. You can use your PayPal. You can use your bank account. Anyway, we draft it, and then I put you in the spreadsheet, put you in the back office, and I buy product for you. It's usually uniform. You get an invoice, and then we show you what you would have paid had you gone to one of the big boys. And it's usually a pretty significant savings, even the $50 level. We're working on getting people into a program where if they wanted to buy gold at $50 a month, I can do that, but you're going to have to let it accumulate for 2 or 3 months, and that's a little bit more of accounting. But yeah, but Wolfpack.gold, Sam, I'm really excited. I've got over 200 members right now. I haven't done really any marketing, but it's guaranteed delivery. What I'm doing is I'm searching and scouring deals. So I'll find, like next to me, I'm next to my left foot here off camera. I've got a monster box of Canadian silver maple leafs, 1 ounce maple leafs, direct from the mint, still got the tag on it. That's going to go to Wolfpack members this month. I bought a lot of great fractional gold pieces that, if you go to somebody like an Atmex or a JM Bullion, you pay a lot more for. And so we just buy them in bulk, and then it's a once a month ship time. But we had a lot of great feedback, and we've got a exclusive podcast we're going to do for that, and a shopping cart and all kinds of cool stuff. So yeah, Wolfpack. It's again, and you can put in promo code STAM.
So let me ask this. So then, let's say I want to go at your value, your top. It's capped at 500, and every month you buy me $500 worth of gold
or silver or both. Yeah, and we show you your invoice. Usually, the tiers go from the Lone Wolf. There's a Warrior Wolf at 125, an Alpha Wolf at 250, and a Wise Wolf at 500. And the 500 usually gets a little bit of gold in there, but it's a split. And we show you on your invoice what you bought, what your credit card fees were, what your shipping costs were, and usually you're saving money just doing that alone. But it's guaranteed delivery. And I promise my audience is like, I will cap Wolfpack if I can't get product. But right now we can
put a promo code for Cash Daddies on that, just
Sure.
a Cash Daddy one. So
Absolutely.
anyone listening to this who wants to go through Cash Daddies,
Absolutely.
grab one, and we'll put that in our links and we'll add it to our stuff. I have an affiliate program with Tinfoil Hat, but I want to keep that separate. I have anyone who is a Cash Daddy can come in and grab join this. I think I'm going to do it. I really like buying all that stuff. So yeah, I'm sorry about those beeps. I keep turning this shit off. I don't know how to do it. Look, I'm such an old guy. But yeah, dude, I'm down with doing it, man.
Oh, that'd be great, Sam. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's a really good program, and I'm having some success with it. And I want to say, we can come back to this, but I want to say, but before we left the debt, why does the debt matter? The debt matters only when it references debt to GDP. And that's what you got to look at. I think Howie would probably agree with me. This is something where we have Dick Cheney famously said that deficits don't matter. Well, they kind of don't, as long as your GDP is able to service the debt. But the problem is, in the 60s, it was about 30%. In the 70s, it was about 40% of GDP to debt ratio. And that stayed pretty steady up until the 2000s. And now we're at 125% of GDP to debt. And
the GDP has to be up there. That's no doubt about that.
So that I wanted to add that, but I brought some props on too. Like we talk about the devaluation of the dollar. Like this is a $20 gold piece. This is from the 1890s. It's called a $20 Liberty. It's 1 ounce of gold, and that was $20. We didn't have inflation in the 19th century. As a matter of fact, you had a populist movement from William Jennings Bryan and others. It's where you get the allegory of the Wizard of Oz to do free silver, to put silver into the economy because the farmers had such a hard dollar. It was deflation. It was deflationary times. So we didn't have inflation. That changed in the 20th century. In this $20 gold piece, again, was $20 from basically the beginning of the 1800s to 1933 or so. This is now $2,000. That's in real time. You can see when people say that, the Federal Reserve has devalued the dollar by 98%. That's it right there. That's a visual representation of a complete devaluation. And another thing too, I know you said you hate silver, Howie. It has to be frustrating for anybody who's been like really wanting to reap the benefits of silver. I mean, you go back to the Hunt brothers in the 70s driving the price up. Everybody was in the silver game. And you hit 1980, silver hits $50 an ounce, which by the way, $50 in 1980 is like $200 today. So in purchasing power, and again, Buffett tried it in the 90s. There's something wrong with silver. I agree with you. There's something wrong in the way that it's valued. And here's another example. So I brought, this is a 1986 Silver Eagle, just from the U.S. Mint, 1 ounce of silver. When this country was founded, the United States of America, Alexander Hamilton, along with pretty much everybody else in the world, put gold and silver. They had a ratio, and they'll say, well, the ratio is 16 to 1. That's how we'll list it. It takes 16 ounces of silver to make 1 ounce of gold. And that's stayed that way for over 150 years. And somewhere around the last 80 years or so, really after World War II, you start to see silver, the ratio goes insane. And what I mean by that, let's just do the ratio right now. It's like, if you look at gold at 1750, and you divide that by 21, it's basically 83 ounces to make 1 ounce of gold. It takes 83 ounces to make of silver to make 1 ounce of gold. Again, that's from 16 to 1. And history has always shown us that it's been 10, high end 20, never surpassing that. The Egyptians actually had it 1 to 1. So something is wrong in our modern times when you have silver is the most thermoconductive metal. It's using all the Green New Deal stuff. I mean, they're not even mining it right now, really. Because it's not profitable to put all the infrastructure in and pull it out of the ground. So it's short in supply. It's used in all the Green New Deal stuff. It's a medicine, by the way. I mean, it has healing properties. They use it, and it's used for like MRSA and some of those antibiotic resistant strains of bacteria in hospitals. So again, so many uses. Why is the price low? The only thing I can go to is manipulation. And again, I can't prove it. I think there's a lot of silver bugs that would agree with me there, but there's something wrong with that. And I think that in this current reality where we go into revaluation, I think you might see that ratio. And again, let's see this real quick before I let you
It
time.
was worth, it's trading where it was in 2008, 14 years ago.
Doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
So if you do the 16-to-1 ratio right now, with gold being as low as it is, it makes silver $109 an ounce.
Isn't that crazy?
Just something this is the little things I think about.
No, I know. It's I've watched it for years, and you'll have little bumps here and there, and it'll have a little momentum where it goes up 8-10%, and then boom, gets smashed again. Where gold seems to hold the value a little better. It just has. I don't know.
We're living in crazy times. Tony, man, this was a great conversation. You're always a class act when you come on the show. We were talking about we have to get you on more and more because you bring a lot of value to the show, and we appreciate it. One more time, plug. You got podcasts, you got website, and one more time, tell them about your program.
Thank you so much for having me on, gentlemen. It's always a pleasure. Anytime you need somebody to talk precious metals, I'm happy to jump
We
on.
should do that on the regular.
Anytime. You can find me. My website is wisewolfgoldandsilver.com. And again, along with the great Sam Tripoli, I'm in alternative media. You can find my podcast. It's the Arterburn radio transmission, which is pretty much parapolitics, precious metals, all that good stuff. I'm the co-host of America Unplugged over on Rockfin with Billy Ray Valentine and the legendary Don Jeffries every Saturday. And of course, Wolfpack.gold, promo code Cash Daddies. I'll plug that in as soon as we get done.
Tony,
You're in Missouri? Tony,
Yes,
you're in Missouri?
That's right. Branson, Missouri.
Got it.
Tony Arterburn, 2024. That's what we're doing, brother. We're pushing product, brother. We're pushing product. Thanks for coming on, Tony. We always appreciate it. And hopefully people will join your Wise Wolf program because I know I'm going to. And again, I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you, Sam. See you guys
Thank
soon.
you, brother. I appreciate you. Take care. Hey, everybody. Want to tell you about our friends at NetSuite. That's right. 2000, 2008, 2022. When it comes to the economy, those are scary years, okay? .com crash, housing crash, and the roller coaster we're going through right now. One thing is certain. It's dangerous. It's a dangerous time to not know your number. But over 31,000 businesses have the confidence and clarity they need because they rely on NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system, okay?
NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting so you can manage risk, get reliable forecasts, and improve margins. Everything you need all in one place. So how do you prepare for uncertain times? The answer is NetSuite. NetSuite helps you identify rising costs, automate your business processes, and easily see where to save money. That's why 93% of customers say they improved their visibility and control when they upgraded to NetSuite. What are you waiting for?
So right now, NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind special financing program. Head to netsuite.com/cash right now. netsuite.com/cash. netsuite.com/cash. That's NETSUITE.com/cash. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Tony, for coming on. Great conversation. Check out his program. Check out the link below so that you can get into that program because I'm going to do it. I'm going to become a Packer. That sounded weird.
Fudge Packer.
Hey.
I like
Anyway,
how you're like, I'm going to become one. Yeah. Okay. Right. Sure, buddy. Sure.
not
Johnny's
cool.
on fire.
Not
buddy.
cool. All right, man. So Howie, talk to me. Markets, and then give me a pick.
Yeah, man. Listen, it's a wild week for the markets. Nothing's changing, man. It's like I say, the VIX went down to 20, which meant the markets were too high. We came in, we bought the SDOW, which is like the SQQQ. We hope that the markets go down. They're definitely headed that way. 2023 is going to be the same thing. I mean, you cannot buy and hold certain things. You have to take profits. You have to bank fatties. Join the Patreon, man. $20 a month. Are you kidding me? These guys are paying this shit off in 1 or 2 trades. So last week was crazy. Big news right now is Elon Musk, not just Twitter, but Tesla, which is down from 300 to 180. More than that, actually. He's trading at 180. And I got people saying, Howie, do we jump in? Do we buy a Tesla yet? No, I don't think you do. I think it's going down to 145, 150. At some point, I will jump in and buy it, but not yet. It's got a ways
What's
to
the
go.
feeling there? How he's maybe taking his eye off the ball a little bit, kind of focusing on Twitter? Is that what the worry is?
Or
Is that
that
why it's
he's pissing
tumbling?
off the wrong people.
Well, not only that, but listen, there's a few more EV companies out there than just Tesla. And from what I'm reading, they're a lot better vehicle. Ford's coming out with some monsters. So when you got all that competition and you got EVs that are going to sell at a lower price, what the fuck's going to happen to Tesla? It's going to sell less cars. In the long term, it's going to be less profit. So I think basically the stock valuation is coming back down to probably where it's worth. I think it's got more to go. I would not be buying it yet. But there's a lot of companies right now out there that are dropping. Apple's down to 142, probably going back to the 130s. It's a good time to make money, baby. There's finally some good valuations. With that being said, stock I love, I've said it probably every other week. It's at 27 and change, and I'll be putting out a call buy on it very, very soon. But man, I just love Uber. I love Uber. Everything has dropped. Uber staying right around 27, 28, 29. I think that thing is going to bust through 30, and I'm going to be on board for it, baby. I can't wait.
Love it. Love you. Love it.
I love it.
Love it.
I love it. It's good. We got Amazon going back to 90. We'll jump on that. Sam's favorite, Pfizer, 3.5%, 3.24% dividend. Staying right there, 49. That thing's about to jump. They're going to come out with some new drug to give a kid a third arm. That's coming. Got to jump on it. Jump on, buy it, Sammy. They're going to give kids. They're going to the NFL in 20 years is going to be all different. You're going to have guys running 4 point. You're going to have guys running the 40 in about 2.5 seconds. I'm telling you.
I respect that.
Big pharmaceutical. We're going to juice those kids up. It's going to be an all new steroid. Give kids extra muscles. It's going to be a beautiful thing.
I think they're going to have robotic enhancements. I think they're just all going to be robots out there mostly.
You imagine that shit like it's 1st and 30 and you're on your 1 yard line and you usually see some dude go back and just jack a 98-yard bullet.
Those like you like arena football, where it's like 50 yards and they're just bouncing it off the walls, God,
yeah, man.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I love arena football. That's one of my favorites. Guys,
it's exciting. It's exciting for sure.
I was at one in Albany one time and I saw a dude catch one on the sidelines and literally.
Hey guys, sorry, we had a situation.
Technical situation.
The Chinese heard about us talking about their gold shipments. So
we talk about arena football, and I saw a lady get knocked the fuck out. Literally got a linebacker head smashed while she was drinking a beer, and it took him 20 minutes to take this lady off in a stretcher. It was awesome.
Hold on. Was this arena football or lingerie football?
Arena football. Full-fledged helmet. Yeah, it was the Albany Firebirds with Antonio, what's his name's father? Antonio Brown's father. What they used to call him. Fucking touchdown. What was his name, man? Touchdown Eddie Brown for the Albany Firebirds. I literally went to a game one time because we used to play hoops together. And it wasn't him. It was like a tight end. Turned, lowered his head, and I'm not kidding you, hit this blonde chick in the forehead, and there was blood everywhere. Just drilled her. That's what you got to like about arena football.
That's where you have to domestic violence. All right, guys, great episode today. Great episode. We're now going to run over to the Patreon. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and we will see you soon. Go to the Patreon, patreon.com/Cash Daddies.